Test outline. Test outline. But before we do that, a little bit of quiz commentary. That quiz that you just got back does not include everything that's on the test. It was just a review of ways to solve quadratics. But it was a really good quiz on that. In that, very few people made 100, and I know that's like, well, wouldn't a good quiz be everybody made 100? I guess. But lots of you made small mistakes that you got back and you're like, I can't believe I did that. Like, yes, I can't believe you did that either, but that's really one of the main purposes of a quiz, is to make some silly mistakes, figure out, I forgot about the whatever, learn from it, fix it, and then don't do it again on test day. So regardless of what the score is on the quiz, that doesn't really concern me. What concerns me is that you learn from whatever you missed, whether it was a whole chunk of stuff and you got to go back and relearn the quadratic formula, or whether it was, I forgot the one little sign thing, or I forgot how to reduce, or I forgot that I needed to reduce. I mean, whatever, like, learn from it and take that into the test on Thursday, Friday. Okay, so here's the breakdown. Thursday, part 1, no calculator. I got my little sticky note here from when I took made it and made notes to myself here. So let's see if I can remember what this stuff means. Solve. Okay, so you tell me, what does solve mean? What's your answer going to look like if the directions say solve?
Something equals x equals.
Right, x equals, or t equals, or a equals, or whatever, but something equals, and then you're going to give an answer and maybe two answers if it's a quadratic. So solve. Maybe a plus or minus in there somewhere. And I'll just say various methods. This would be where the quiz would be helpful, because the quiz covered the various methods of solving. And it's also a you pick the method. So this could be a spot where a few of you are going to like quadratic formula everything, even though there's like some that's like, that's really the long way around. But quadratic formula always works, so do what you need to do to get the answers right. Oh, it's raining more on us.
Oh my God, yes. It's already raining now.
All right, graphing inequalities. So what do you have to remember about graphing inequalities?
Shade above or below.
Shade above or below. Yep.
Dashed or solid line.
Yep.
That's like light work. But you can remember.
So yeah, shade above or below, dashed or solid line. In addition to obviously being able to graph the parabola itself.
And if you divide by neighbors, you flip on.
That's correct. Yep. What we did Friday was change to vertex form.
Oh, that was easy.
I mean,
Yeah, I did too. It was really, I remember saying it was really easy.
complete the square. A bunch of you finished in class. Half it squared, add it.
It's where you like factor half to it. Yeah. Steps. Oh,
So not too bad.
y'all were like really confused.
I was.
And then 2 multiple choice questions. Only 2.
Actually, wait, that's okay.
Okay, those sometimes are trickier than the free response because there's no partial credit and there's good distractors on there. So yeah,
Oh, but you can do that. You can do the finger.
but you can work backwards. So
And you can do the finger backwards.
all kinds of guessing methods. All right, part 2 with calculator.
Wait, how many questions are on Thursday?
I don't know.
You made the test.
I did. Made it, took it, didn't write down how many questions there were.
Wait, you already took the test?
I did.
You ever take the test and get one wrong?
Occasionally, I usually go check with Miss Houston just to make sure that I didn't make a dumb mistake. Quadratic formula. You know that you could use that on the no calculator test, but with the calculator, it means you can get ugly answers, and it means you can do big numbers, and it's just a little easier, even though it's the same formula. And then the stuff that you absolutely have to have a calculator for is the stat stuff, the stat button on the calculator. That was the edit where you put in the matrix, or not the matrix, the data points. And then quadratic regression. Yeah, it's not hard, but you got to remember where those buttons are. And then ask questions about the formula that you get, right? Because that'll give you ax squared plus bx plus c, and then we can ask all sorts of questions about the parabola and where it hits. And then lastly, given a parabola equation word problem. That's a lot of words. Given a parabola equation word problem. This one has like 6 parts to it. And it's one of those height problems. In fact, I can make one up because I know what they look like. Negative 16t squared plus 30t plus 10. What was its initial velocity? What was its initial height? When did it hit the ground? What was the highest point?
Initial velocity is 30.
Initial velocity is 30. Initial height is 10. And to answer the rest of those, you would need to put that in the calculator and know sort of what you're looking for. You're looking for an x-intercept, a y-intercept, a vertex. So one of these where we give you this and then ask, I mean, it's really 5 or 6 questions about that.
It's not that bad.
Okay. So that's the sort of overview of what's coming for Thursday, Friday.
Wait, I have a question.
And I'll let you know, but we might be testing in that LGI. That's not a big deal, right? Because it's right next door. So if we're in there and I put a sign on the door, you just walk 10 more feet down the hall.
I might get lost.
I know. It's tricky to find it, right?
Do we have to do that number line stuff? Is that graphing inequalities?
That would be graphing inequalities, yeah. So that's, there's the 2D, that's a good point. We talked about the 2D inequality. The 1D inequality is the number line. Test the number line. Use the alternating rule if you don't want to test all of the number line. Yeah.